How to upload images to your WordPress website without tanking your SEO. What we're going to do is show you a couple of things that most people don't know how to set, or their web design company hasn't set for them. Now what we're going to do is go to the application. So I'm currently logged in. This is what we've gone to the settings and the media. Now what we want to do is turn off all the additional images that WordPress will create when you upload. The only problem is, if you imagine if you had a new site and you had loads and loads of images, you might want smaller versions of them. But generally, if your WordPress website is a page where they're going to land on, so if you're talking about horse racing, you've got 3 or 4 pictures on there, you don't need multiple versions on there, even if they're viewing it on a mobile, if you optimize your images in the first place. So what we want to do is log in. You'll need admin access. We generally set this for our clients anyway, because we don't want them to sabotage their website's SEO by having huge images or multiple images. So we'll set these to 0 all the way down, and here where you've got the option, if I just zoom in here, where you've got the option to have your images in folders. So it would say forward. So if you uploaded your images in 2018, it would go / uploads / 2018, 2019. So every time you upload images, if you don't change the settings, it would create 3 or 4 multiple versions of those at different sizes, which starts to fill up the web server, which is a pain when you want to back up. And also it puts it in folders, generally dates, so 2018, 2019. So if you come to that page years later and you go, okay, I want to update that image, there is tools where you can replace, so you can keep the same image, just replace it. So the same file name would be a better description of how to say that. So yeah, you're replacing the current image with a new version of that image. The benefits of doing that, the path, so if anybody's linked to it and they go, here's a super image of a particular event and stuff like that, that URL of the image is still true. Also, the benefit is if the search engine's index, it's still got that same path. So the only problem is if you do an update to your website with a new image where you've just replaced the image by name in 2028 and you uploaded that image initially in 2018, it will still show / 2018. So it looks, I'm talking behind the scenes, it looks like your image is still 10 years old. So what we want to do is avoid having all your images in folders. There is tools where you can have virtual folders, and we add that to our client's website. But I would turn all these to 0, deselect that, and then save changes. So now before I upload the image, I want to grab that image, put it into an application so I can actually optimize it. Basically I'm resizing it. I don't really want it any bigger or much bigger than I actually need. So in this case, this picture is 5,600 pixels, which is more than 4K, and 2,900 deep. So it's way too big. So I'm going to export this video. I could crop and size in here, but this program will allow me to do it on export. I can choose the size. So here, as I said, it's 5,600 pixels. And if I was to save it, it would be 2,000 and 2.8 meg. That's huge. If you uploaded that, somebody on a mobile phone who's trying to check you out would probably leave your website. And if it would take a moment on somebody with broadband as well. So their website, their hero image is 1920, that's HD. This is going to go inline on a page, and they have 720. The images are displayed on the web page. Or if it's on a blog post, it's 1960. I'm going to export these as 1440, which is twice the 720. This will allow pin sharp images on iPhones and Retina displays, and it also future proofs it to a degree, unless we start going 16 and 20k screens. So I'm going to export this. If I was to export it as a JPEG at those sizes, so 1440, it would come out at 256k. That's what it is there, 256k. So that's considerably smaller So we've made it almost 10 times smaller by resizing it and then saving it as a JPEG at 85%. Now, the latest, well, I say latest, been around a couple of years, is WebP. So it's a web format. So if we export that, I would still export it as a JPEG because you can use that on social media, and you may have dropped your logo on there, which is an option. Stick it in one of the corners. And so if I was to convert these as a WebP, this has now come down to, so the same size image, 440, is now going to save out at 140k. So that's considerably smaller. So if I export that, yeah, so I want this to be ladies' hen party, because that's what they are. They're ladies on the way to a hen party. What they're into, this is a white limo. Ideally put where they're going, so the venue and the city. So I've dropped some keywords. I'm not over spamming it. So this is not super cheap, limo hire, blah, 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 or best restaurant and that. Use the image to describe the content and potentially for SEO benefits, potentially where it's going and where it was. So I've logged in as the client. So I've gone to a page. Now, if you haven't got tools where you can resize images, what you want to do, there's a couple of online tools. There's this one, where you can, if you've already got your image, you can upload it and it would compress it, the actual file size. If you want to, if you've got a few and you don't want a paid account, there's bulksizephotos.com, bulkresizePhotos.com. You upload your photo here. So I'll just upload this image I've reformatted. You can choose now the dimensions you want. So image dimensions, I'd go long side there. Sorry, go with the long side. Put the size there, 1440, or whatever size would suit yours. I want WebP, and then I would start, and then it'd give me the option to export it. Or if I start there, you will see, and then it'll allow me to save it. I've already got the image, so I'm not going to do that. So this website is bulkresizePhotos.com. So going back to admin, this is WordPress with Gutenberg. If you've got Elementor or other page builders, it would look slightly different, but it's the same concept. So if I hit the image, I've got the option to replace. Your replace option may pop up on the left hand side depending to if you've got a page builder. So if I click replace, open media library, that's what I was about folders. You can have a plugin which will actually put images in virtual folders, so you don't need to have it as I showed you on the setup. So here's the media library. I'm going to put this in, I'm just going to say blog, in this particular virtual folder. I'm going to drag that image over. That image is uploaded. You will see a couple of things, and these are important. So if I zoom in here, you will see, I mean, that's the image. So, but you'll see the alt tag and title and caption. Now, we've wrote a plugin, so when the image is uploaded, it will or it won't allow customers to put a huge image in, and it will also, depending to the file name of the photo, hence I've done about naming the photo, it will actually, obviously that's represented there, and that will come in the code, the back of the code, which will help Google know this file name is this, which has got some keywords. As I said, don't overstuff it and stuff like that. The alt tag is for visually impaired. So if somebody is visually impaired, this is the description their screen reader will read, but the search engines also read it to give the image context. So if you were to put details of what the image is, it actually helps the search engine knows what it is. It's likely to come up in search, and it's one of the algorithm things in the I mean, there's hundreds. It's not just by doing that you're not going to go number one, but it reinforces the content on your page. And this is the title. So if I select that there, that will now, you'll see there's a caption there. That's based on what's been uploaded. Again, if you haven't got a title, or you want to go back and retrospectively do that, you can. Now there's that caption. Now if you didn't want that caption showing, so what you would do is go to where those three dots are, and you just deselect it, and then the caption, it says confidently, would just disappear. So that's how you would replace an image. If you want to replace the featured image, that's the image that Google may or may not pick to represent the page, and it may be part of your design. So the featured image would either be on your, if you go to post or page, there, click that and you'll see an image that represents that page. And if I go to Google and have red car, you will see those generally are featured images. And again, Google, just because you've got a featured image doesn't mean they'll pick that one, doesn't mean you'll get one next to your listing. But again, we're trying to help Google, you know, or convince them, look, that we want ideally that image to represent that page, and stick an image next to our listing, because if you have a visual asset, again, it draws eyes. So if I go back to there to replace that, again, it's a simple thing. You just go replace, select the image you want, and set as featured image. That's already set. I'm not going to change that. So quick recap, if I wanted to change this image, I go to replace. Again, slightly different on different page builders, but you're looking to replace image. So press replace, open media library, select the image you want by ticking it. If you haven't got alt tags in there and that, this is a good time to put them in, and then press select. Now, if you want to add an image in this particular one, so press return. You can either go / image. This would be in like standard Gutenberg. So you've got image. This particular page builder, it's a paid version, and you've got advanced image. So I can select advanced image. I can do some things with the image that the ordinary Gutenberg thing plugin wouldn't do. I can change aspect ratios and stuff like that. But that's how to add an image. So I'm going to now delete them because I would be messing up the client's page. And that, the lines underneath is actually Grammarly. So Grammarly recommends some alterations. So I'll do that one here. And then once you've got your images in place, you just press save, and that's it. That's your website updated, or your images. So make sure your images are optimized. So if somebody's on a mobile phone and that, they download quickly. WebPs doesn't need to be bigger than what the website's width's going to be. And if you use images, the same images on multiple locations on your website, once that image is downloaded on, say, your About Us page, now if you use that same images on your gallery page, they're not going to read out, or your web browser is not going to re-download that image if it's exactly the same. So those pages, if you've reused your images through your website, you'll have a quicker website because they don't have to keep reloading variations of that same image or different images. So again, I'll do a separate video on how to use images on your website and how to optimize them in a lot more detail. But hopefully that was helpful. If it was, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to tap subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.